friend Steph has 6 children, so when thinking about a story about chaos, it was not about finding a story. It was about finding one that stood out among the chaos that's my daily existence. Now, when I talk to people who are thinking about or have that many children, my main piece of advice is, my friend, look well to your own sanity, because it will be challenged. And at the point of time for this story, my sanity hung precariously on finding a time each week for an hour to have an uninterrupted conversation with my friend Steph, and I think hers did as well. So we got really good at being able to schedule that hour during each week. And the only way, if you have that many children, you'll know that you can have an uninterrupted conversation, is to leave the house and literally start running. And so we ran a lot during that phase in my life, and that's how I maintained my sanity. So we had one particularly challenging week, although scheduling was what you do when you have 4 or 6 children, where it was going to be really tough to schedule this hour. It was the weekend before Easter. There was a school holiday, multiple family events, and a really perplexing problem of a photo shoot in Westchester with my children and all the other grandchildren that we had to fit in somehow. And so came up with a bold but very efficient plan of me dressing my children in the outfits that they were supposed to wear, driving to Steph's house, dropping the kids off, all dressed. They were old enough to babysit each other at that point, although we'd never actually had all 10 of them alone at the same time, leaving them mesmerized in front of a movie, going to run for an hour, coming back, picking up the children, going for the photo shoot. It was perfect. It could totally work. But as we're running out the door, children are already mesmerized. She realizes she doesn't have her cell phone. Kids, I don't have my cell phone. Mrs. Fedek has her cell phone. And somebody nodded, somebody raised their hand, and we started running. So 25 minutes into the run, whoops, I dropped my necklace. 25 minutes into the run, I get a phone call on my cell phone, which I have, from Stephanie's husband, which is unusual. And I hand her the phone, and she says, "What? What? Oh no, oh my God, okay, we'll be right back, oh my God." She turns around, we start running back. So, at home, shortly after we left, the mesmerizing movie apparently became less mesmerizing, and our very industrious and very self-sufficient children decided that since it was a holiday morning, they were going to make a holiday breakfast. And so they decided to start cooking eggs and toast, which they'd all done before, but never quite on that scale. I think there may have been even like 2 extra kids sleeping over. So they start making eggs and toast for 12, and the smoke alarm goes off. Because Steph has a wonderful kitchen, but the exhaust fan in the kitchen is not fantastic. So the smoke alarm goes off. Okay, this is not a big deal. This has happened before. The 2 older girls run to the smoke alarm to set it off. And this is, of course, when they remember that this has never actually happened when Mom was not home before. So nobody knows how to shut off the smoke alarm. And now at this point I envision that there's a smoke going off. My kids and our smoke alarm, the way we get our smoke alarm to go off, because it goes off all the time, is we jump up and down with newspapers and we try to get the smoke away from the smoke alarm. So jumping up and down. And I imagine the little ones running around with their hands over their ears, screaming, because why do they do that? Because that helps, I don't know. So now there's lots of chaos going on there. Oh my God, we got to call Mom, because nobody remembers that she doesn't have her cell phone. So now Steph's cell phone is going off, screaming. And they must have been particularly stressed, because at this point, when she didn't answer her phone, they go right to what I would consider the nuclear option. We're going to call Dad. Because, dads are just not as patient with this kind of things as moms are when you call them. And their dad is a surgeon, so you can't often actually get him. But he does answer. So they get, Dad, the smoke alarm's going off. And he's like, I've never turned off the smoke alarm either when Mom wasn't home. So he doesn't. But of course, dads have to do something, right? So he says, push the white button. Fire and police summoned, evacuate the premises. Because it's not really chaos until there's fire trucks, right? So all the kids go outside. Chris goes, oh my God, where is your mother? Because of course this is our fault, and this time it actually probably was our fault. So this is when he calls me. He starts driving home because his office isn't very far away, but he doesn't beat the fire truck that come to the house. They get there, there's 10, maybe 12 kids lined up in front when Chris gets home. And the older kids are looking really rather withdrawn and like, oh my gosh, we set out the smoke alarm. The little kids are looking like, wow, this was going to be such a dull day, and now there are fire trucks. They were so happy. He walks in and says something like, You can imagine how angry I am right now, which of course didn't take a lot of imagination, but you could imagine. Thanks the firemen profusely for their service. They all together figure out how to shut off the smoke alarm. And then they just go, and the kids go back in, they start eating cereal, because that was one thing Dad said before he left was, cereal! No more cooking when Mom's not home. And everybody leaves, and Steph and I turn the corner running as fast as we can to see the last fire truck pulling out. And we get back, and the kids are sitting there eating eggs and cereal when we get back. And of course, the kids that I have to take for the photo shoot are the ones with the eggs running down in front of them when I come out. Chaos.